Hey guys, what is up and welcome to another episode of Pokemon Card Collecting. Today I'm not going to be opening any new cards to show off. Today's episode is a little different. Today I'm going to be discussing a incident that happened to me on Mercari. A few weeks ago, I guess now almost a month ago, I ordered some, seem to recall. Anyways, I've been setting this video up for like about a few weeks. I've gathered data, made sure I have enough time on my schedule to make sure I can record this video. Anyways, it comes down to the fact that Mercari has no way to deal with bad ratings. You can't report it, you can't talk to anyone about it, you just have to deal with it. Even though you should be allowed to. It's like, how are you being told that you can't fix your rating because some asshole decides to be a dick that day? So let's start off with the person who has made me take this initiative to create a video on them specifically. I'm not going to say any names. You guys will probably know based off the profile if you guys go onto my Mercari site page, based on the fact that they are the only person who gave me a bad review. Yeah, because as I've said, I had a perfect score. So let's start off. So this transaction, I start off the conversation with, is this account still active? I'm hoping to hear a response soon or I'll have to cancel my order on Friday afternoon. This is 1 or 2 days after the order. So let me explain the situation. So this took place, I bought this on the same day I bought a bunch of other stuff, and in this span of this whole 2-3 weeks I was doing while I was buying crap, I noticed that a lot of the sellers on Mercari were like dead accounts. So after not getting an update in the span of I don't know how many days, 1 or 2, I decided to message the seller and use this response, the first response, which was on February 9th of this year. The seller now adds to the conversation, yes, I apologize. I work 2 12-hour shifts and the roads where I am are currently iced over. I hope to ship the item tomorrow. So this was on the same day. So we're going to continue on. So as you guys can tell, I have screenshotted the image to show off both the things. The same one you see on Exhibit A Part first image is the same one you see on Exhibit A Part 1, the center image. So let's start reading. So my response is, I'm fine, sorry about being pushy. I jumped to the conclusions. I have another order going on right now and have given that person 5 days as of now. I haven't received a response, so I was starting to think this account was dead too. So see? Should have probably read this ahead of time. But yeah, I guess it was a few days. And now that I recall, there was actually more people than this one single person. But back to the thing. So this is on 2/11, so 2 days later. So I send them a message that says, "Hi, by any chance were you able to ship today?" And they say, "No, I live outside Tulsa. It's not safe to drive at the moment. If you'd like, you can cancel the order or you can wait until I'm able to ship it safely." It's a little passive aggressive, but I can deal with it. So I decided to give this person some chance. So I decided to do some research, like I said there. So I did some research, and I did not expect the weather to be anywhere that bad in the US. I'll wait until Monday. Hopefully the weather gets better in Oklahoma. So I actually did do some research. I went on to Google and saw the weather. It was actually pretty bad. So now we move on to Exhibit A Part 2 of the conversation. So as you guys can tell, I started the conversation on Exhibit A Part 1 that says, "Hi, I've noticed that the tracking code hasn't updated in days. It's been stuck on shipment something." So let's read it. So this is 9 days ago. I don't even remember when that was. Would that have been the 18th or something like that? Possibly. But anyways, let's go back to Exhibit A Part 2. So, "Hi, I've noticed that your tracking code hasn't updated in days. It's been stuck on pre-shipment for days." So the seller decides to respond, "I took it to the post office. I don't control shipping. You've been very impatient and you'll just have to wait for your case like many other people." So extremely passive aggressive, not even passive aggressive, I would say very aggressive. I respond, "I just find it very weird. When the packages get stuck, it either means they haven't noticed and shipped it already and it hasn't been kept track of, which can happen and sometimes. But 4 days is all it would take before I would update. This one has taken more than 4 days already. The second option is that they have so many packages built over the horrible weather that they haven't even scanned it. The last option is that the package is lost, and I'm sorry if I sound impatient, but that's because I am. The package has lasted almost 12 days since I placed my order, and I got a notification from the ad to rate when the package hasn't arrived. It puts me in a difficult spot. So this person called me impatient, but they decided to tell on me to Mercari to rate them before the product would even have gone to my home. You see the issue? You cannot tell me that I am being the only person impatient. You're also being impatient when you're trying to force me into this difficult position. Like, it's asinine. It's fucking asinine. So I don't even know how to respond to that. Just thinking about it triggers me. Like, why would you think that I can rate you when you choose not to do anything? When you choose to tell me, deal with it, but yet I had to rate you? Go fuck yourself, you fucking moron. But we have to stick to the facts. But I was still keeping a level head at that point. I was very aggravated with the seller. So when I respond with that, the seller has the audacity. When I decide to ask the seller, where the hell is my package, because the seller decided to report me to Mercari so that I would be forced to rate them when the package wouldn't arrive, they decided to give me this piece of shit answer. Let me tell you what it is. So you guys can see in part 2 of Exhibit A. It starts with, the world is in the middle of a global pandemic. One half is freezing and the other is burning. People are dying and the USPS is $1 billion in debt. I apologize, but that worries a late something. I can't read it. Let's go to the next page. See, $6 billion in debt. I apologize, but I believe that the warrants a late package, especially since it is a game storage device most people cannot afford. Thank you for the purchase. There will be no further text between us and no more sales to you. Thank you. You condescending bitch. You are decided to be a dickhole. It's like you're trying to take this moral standing of, oh, you're such a bad, horrible being, when I'm clearly in the right in this point, when I'm only asking where my shit is. You are forcing me into a difficult position by telling Mercari I have to rate you. Why would you ask Mercari and tell them I have to rate you? There is no logical reason. If your package has not arrived to me, the person who bought it, there is zero reason this has ever happened. But I still decided to be patient. I gave this person a chance. So here's Exhibit B Part 1. This shows the shipping, the cost, everything, okay? But what really matters is that the seller said they shipped it on the 13th, but based on evidence shown by UPS, which we will be seeing later in the video, it shows that it was actually not shipped on that date. It was actually shipped on the 22nd, because you guys can see it being updated continuously from that day on. So now we're going to go down the tracking, because I got a lot of tracking. So this person said a bunch of bullshit. Yes, the world was in disaster, but you have no right to use that as a reason you can't do stuff. It's asinine for you to expect the whole world to understand your circumstances when I had orders from Texas when they were going through their worst weathers get to me quicker than your fucking crap. It's fucking retarded. So, back to the thing. Where was I? Exhibit C, Part 1. So, let's start with February 8th. So, Mercari doesn't do a good job at showing when stuff is bought. It was not a whole 13 days, because if we look at the bottom, February 8th at 1:15, the shipping label has been created, which means I bought the item before then. On February 22nd, USPS is in possession of the item. So that's 14 days after. So the lying bastard decided to say that my item had been shipped on the 13th, which would have been about 5 days after I had bought it. It was most likely a few days before that, but that's not the issue. The issue is that it was not in fact sent to the USPS until the 22nd, based on what this tracking code shows. It's not until I start calling out the seller that the item becomes in possession. So, is there a small correlation? Is there a correlation? So it took you 14 whole days to ship my item, an item that shouldn't have taken you that long. In Texas, during the worst part when their whole infrastructure was getting wrecked, I got a package in the span of 2 weeks. Do not give me that bullshit of people were dying. You fucking hypocrite. Go fuck yourself. So back to the thing. February 22nd at 5:54, your shipment has departed the post office from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. February 22nd, 9:27. Your shipment has arrived at the USPS Regional Facility, Tulsa, Oklahoma Distribution Center. We move on to the next day because we can't see the whole thing. So, see, you can see the 154 and the 154 up there. So, your shipment has departed the USPS Regional Facility, Tulsa, Oklahoma Distribution Center. February 23rd, by the way. Your shipment is in transit at 11 p.m. February 25th, 12:36 p.m. Your shipment has arrived at the USPS Regional Destination Facility, Albuquerque, New Mexico Distribution Center Annex. February 26th, 1:32 a.m. Your shipment has departed USPS Regional Facility, Albuquerque, New Mexico Distribution Center Annex. February 26th, 1:32. Did I already read that? Yes, I did. February 26, 2:58. Your shipment has arrived at the USPS facility, Albuquerque, New Mexico. February 26, 7:50 a.m. Your shipment has arrived at the post office, Albuquerque, New Mexico. February 26, 8:01 a.m. Your shipment is out for delivery. And then February 26, 9:25 a.m. Your shipment has been delivered at the front door, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Do you see the issue? That's the issue I have with this seller. This seller is a horrible piece of shit. So now we move on to when I talked to Mercari about the sellers and the way that the seller decided to have me rate them. So here we are. I have a conversation. So, hi. The seller is requesting a rating, but the issue is that the seller is lying about the item being delivered. The tracking code that the seller gave me shows that the seller hasn't even shipped the item. I have asked the seller to check their local post office to see what the issue is, and have also asked if the seller has shipped it, and the seller says yes. In a passive-aggressive way, I give Mercari full authority to read my conversation with the seller. Do we have a date? I don't believe so. So this is before the item has been shipped, by the way. There you can see my tracking number, and then you move on to the next page on 12/21, which would have been a whole day after the seller responded, after I had to take repercussions. Hi there, thanks for reaching out. We're here to help. With the current volume of inquiries, it may take us up to 72 hours to respond. Thank you very much for your patience. We'll be in touch soon. Team Mercari. I had to respond. It was not solved. So we move on to Exhibit D. I hope to hear a response as soon as possible or something like that. I can't read it. I didn't crop it right. I just noticed that. That was on me. That's completely on me. So Mercari responds with, we have so many cases like these days. No worries, this is just a delay, but most of the packages are delivered after a few days of waiting. Don't worry, your money is in safe hands. We won't release payment until we confirm that the item has been delivered to you. Though the transaction is now eligible for cancellation, I hope you will allow a few more extended days since many carriers are having delays issues due to weather and transportation in the past few weeks. Should you have additional queries, don't hesitate to contact us. I really appreciate your patience and understanding. Stay safe and have a nice day. This did not solve anything. This did not solve anything at all. So I had to respond with like, thank you, I'm willing to wait a few more days. I was just getting worried that the seller had filed a request for it to be rated, and today was the last day for me to do something. It's great to hear that I won't be forced to rate. And now we move on to Exhibit E, the final exhibit. So the issue with this is that you guys can see my rating. I have a perfect 5.0. 56 are 5 stars, and I have 0 of everything else, but I have 1 star. And this comes from this seller. This same seller who has a score of, what was it? Oh yes, 37 5 stars, 1 4 star, 1 3 star, and 1 1 star. I think there's a correlation here. A correlation called I'm an asshole. So my issues with this seller stem from the fact that they are very condescending. Based off the fact that I even read the messages, I think I kept myself very calm and collected. But yet the seller decided to be a condescending asshole during every point in the conversation we had. I started it rough by being impatient, but I did not end it by being the most impatient. This came down to the fact that the seller decided to be the most impatient little fucking prick in the world. I believe Mercari needs to step it up. They have so many issues that need to be fixed. Their biggest issue is the fact that the rating system is pointless. You cannot force a buyer to rate before the seller. It is not right. I believe given a chance to change the rating, I think you should be allowed to change your rating. That should be one of the most important things. You should have 24 hours to change the rating if you please. What I did You may be asking yourself, why did you give that person 5 stars if you believe they were so unfriendly? Well, I'll explain to you why. The reason I gave them 5 stars was because it's common courtesy to give someone 5 stars if they do the bare minimum. That's what I do. And when they do the bare minimum, they like send me the package, get it here, stuff like that. I always give 5 stars. I haven't ever on Mercari given anyone less than 5 stars. I always give 5 stars. As has been shown, I ended up with giving this exact same person 5 stars. So my issue comes down to the fact that Mercari, as I've said, does not do anything to fix their rating system. You need to have the seller or buyer be able to update their score in 24 hours. You cannot tell me I cannot change it. That's not right. Second issue that I have with Mercari, it feels like I'm talking to a machine. It really fucking does. I was trying to talk to this person and it's like they weren't understanding what the fuck I was getting at. I thought I made it simple. I thought I was getting to my points. And yet, the machine kind of like answered but not answered. They were being very, very vague with the way they typed towards me. And I just don't appreciate that. And when I tried to contact them after the sale, there was no way to get in contact again because this had already gone past its date, I guess. It's ridiculous that I cannot contact them after I buy an item because I have already given the seller 5 stars. It's like you think that, oh, you gave them 5 stars, I guess this transaction's over and I have no right to complain? No, I should have a right to complain. What? I can't do this kind of shit? It's ridiculous that I am being forced. I have to complain about issues like these. Not once have I dealt with something like this on eBay, TCG Player, Amazon. Even Buy didn't give me this crap. Anyways, there's really not much else to say. I guess it's time for me to end the video. So anyways, fuck Mercari, and fuck the other person's name, whatever their fucking name is. I am currently on a strike, and I will not be supporting Mercari. After spending hundreds of dollars on Mercari, that was the last purchase. Thank you, and have a great day.